We got a little Corvette corner going on over here. We got a C4, C5, and C6. How cool is that? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to Vic Drives. The C4, C5, C6 thing is not coincidence. It was actually planned. So the C4 here is my buddy Dean's, C5 is obviously mine, and then the C6 over there is a Grand Sport tuned to 500 wheel horsepower, my buddy Connor's. And they watched the video, so shout out to you guys. So if you're looking at the title of the video, you think my car is broken, but it's here. So it's not quite broken, but we will get to that in a little bit. But I'm gonna drive home, and while I do so, we'll have a little chat, and then, yeah. But why don't we get started with a little cold start up here, because I know everybody wants one of those. So here we go. Cool, so you can see me, I can see you. First use of the GoPro here. Hopefully it picks up audio fine. And if it doesn't, then this just won't be in the rest of the video, or we'll cut it here and then pick up whenever I get home. Cool, so let's get out of here, and then I guess we'll go from there. Alright, so we're trying to get on the highway, but so we're about a month and a half into ownership here. So I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of an update. So in the last video that you saw, I pretty much had just bought the car and it just sat in my garage because we had snow and whatever, and I didn't really know how to drive it either. So since that video went live, I've brought it into work 3 times, including today, and we've, well, you know, I've gotten a little bit of practice with it, and I can't say that I'm fully comfortable because it is still a 400 horsepower monster, and, you know, it's like the most powerful vehicle that I've ever driven. But in terms of figuring out the stick shift and all that good stuff, I've kind of been figuring it out. I guess the best way to put it is I haven't stalled yet, and you know, I'm getting the hang of things. I've driven in traffic a couple of times. No huge issues there either. Kind of getting used to the interface and everything. Obviously not super smooth at shifting or anything yet. Keeping it very basic, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when slowing down, just down the gears as slowly as possible, but pretty much just enjoying this noise the entire time. And you can probably hear it now. That little rattle is that shifter issue that I was talking to you guys about way back. But it only happens under heavy acceleration. So right now I'm doing, well, like 35 miles an hour trying to get on the on-ramp. So when I give it some gas, you can kind of hear it. Let's see here. But then when we toss it in like 6th, and we're just cruising, not you know, a huge amount of noise or anything like that. And then when you have like the radio on or the windows down, you don't really hear it. Can't say that driving it, I can't say that I'm comfortable driving it, just because drivers in Massachusetts are not exactly road noise and everything. Obviously, it's not like a super luxury car or anything like that. So there are some noise or soundproofing solutions out there. Dynamat is one. I might consider that. I gotta say, it's not super... Can't really complain about this noise. And the car definitely gets moving, so I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it yet. I'll have to reevaluate in a couple months. In terms of actually getting the hang of things, I've tried experimenting with rev matching a little bit, but not a whole lot. I'm not very good at it. My shifts could definitely get quicker, but I think in terms of like clutch control and stuff like that, I'm kind of getting the hang of it. So hopefully a couple more months of this and I'll be good to go. I mean, aside from that, pretty standard stuff. It's a car at the end of the day. But yeah, so I guess we'll keep the video on subject, and I'll tell you guys why it's broken when we get home, so that I'm not trying to talk to you guys and drive at the same time. It's also really hot, so I kind of want to open the windows, and I know the camera won't pick up that, so we will reconvene when I get home. Okay, so if you saw the title of the video, then you think that something is wrong and my Corvette is broken. But obviously, I just drove it from work home. So what's wrong with it? Well, I guess the simplest way to put it is that there is a check engine light on. And for those of you that don't know what to do with a check engine light, pretty much it means that the engine's control module senses that something in one of the sensors that monitors the engine or any of your peripherals is detecting something wrong, or that sensor has broken or something is wrong with it. So in my specific case, I was out with a couple of friends, and then out of nowhere, the light came on. I had driven the car for like an hour and a half the day before, you know, just to familiarize myself with, you know, driving around town and stuff like that, just getting a little comfortable with it. And everything was fine. And completely out of the blue, check engine light came on, and so we brought the car home. And for those of you that have seen some of my tools that you should have, or you know, like wish list type videos, you'll know that I recommend that you guys buy yourself an OBD2 scanner. And basically the whole point of this tool is, if your car was made after 1996, you have a port that looks like the opposite of this, that you can plug this tool into, find an app on your phone, and then essentially figure out what's wrong with your car. So I plugged mine in, and I got a P0135 code, which basically means that there's something wrong with the front bank oxygen sensors heating element, I guess. So essentially, you have oxygen sensors that are plugged into your catalytic converters, and basically they relay that back to your car's computer, and your car's computer then decides how much fuel and how much air to send in. And if there's more air going through or less air going through, basically your car figures out how much air and fuel to mix so that your car continues to run properly. And so when the heating element is what has gone wrong, essentially your sensor will take longer to heat up, which means that it'll take longer to figure out, you know, all the issues. What's going on with my hair? So essentially what happens is, as your sensor takes longer to heat up, that's time that it's not reading your air-fuel mixture properly. And so essentially your car throws a code and it's like, hey, something's wrong. So what exactly is wrong? That I won't be able to tell you in this video, because in order to find the oxygen sensor, I have to get under the car, and I can't currently do that because, first of all, my jack just barely gets under the car, so I might need to find a way to get it, like, get the car up like an inch or two before I can slide my jack under there. And then also, because of the way that the Corvette was designed, where the body is all composite, jacking points aren't the same as they would be on other cars. Obviously, you could like jack it up from the front or the back, but in terms of jacking it up from the sides, there are these special pucks that you basically need to buy, and then you put them in the car, and then you use those as your jack points. So I'm currently waiting for those to come in. They should hopefully be here this weekend. Would be my guess. Should only be like 2 days after I ordered them, and I ordered them last night. So hopefully this weekend. If not, then, you know, I'll film the video the following weekend. But yeah, so in terms of diagnosing the issue, I guess I could go into more detail for that actual video, but there's 3 main locations where things would go wrong. So there's a fuse box under the hood. Let me see if I can figure this out. So like right there. And basically there's one fuse that sometimes burns out for whatever reason. And so if that's the case, it's a 15 amp fuse, you replace it and then everything's fine and dandy. Or what also happens is, because the oxygen sensors are right next to the exhaust and the exhaust tends to get hot, your exhaust could theoretically melt through some of the cables and cause a short. And if that happens, then your check engine light comes on. And then finally, probably what most people would just go to as like a first, I guess, the first cause, or a most likely cause, would be a bad oxygen sensor. And that's not too bad to replace. It's $50, and it is in kind of a strange place, so we might have a little bit of trouble doing that. But at the end of the day, it's not a huge deal. You can definitely still drive your car with it. It's a little annoying, but yeah. So I kind of clickbaited you guys. But basically, the car is still drivable, but it's kind of broken. So I didn't really lie to you guys, right? I don't know. Anyways, so I conducted a poll on my Instagram. If you're not following me, you can follow me at Vic Drives. And a lot of you guys didn't want to see more cars and bids videos. So we're going to go ahead and scrap those. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to film like 2 Corvette videos every week. So we might have to go back to one a week for now. And then, you know, depending on how things go, I might jump into 2. But I guess we'll just have to play that by ear. But anyways, I will update you guys with this as things go on my Instagram, as well as, you know, obviously through a video. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.